What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today we are jumping into another how to paint Borderlands video for you guys today. We got our Monster Fight Club Borderlands Mr. Torgue's Arena Badassery Kickstarter recently, and I've been storming through all of the miniatures, but today we are tackling brick. So if you are a brick fan, today's your day. So we are going to go ahead and head over to the internet and find us some references that we can refer back to, so that when we're painting we don't have to really guesstimate what we have colorization wise. I mean, if you played it enough you should know the colors, but I mean, I play a shit ton of Borderlands and still, I mean, I know the gists of what colors are on who, but the exact everything, no. So we're gonna head over and look at some references. So most of the time I usually go to the Borderlands fandom and I just pull up whatever character I'm painting, and today would be Brick. But instead of going to the fandom, I just Googled Borderlands 3 Brick and just searched on Google for a little bit and ran across this photo. This is actually pretty cool because it shows you what he looks like on the miniature for Borderlands 3 Brick, but it also shows you like what other ideas they had for making brick. So this is obviously what he's wearing, so we're going to refer to this. It's perfect because we're getting a whole look at him all the way around. So we got his back, what's yellow, what's not, just little details here and there, and we should be good. Also, what's really simple with him is that he doesn't have a gun, since he's all fist bro. So we are going to paint him up as is and then go from there. So of course, what we like to do is we like to start with our skin tones. I most likely like to start inside out, leaving all of the outer clothes kind of the last thing to do because it's the closest to you. So we're going to start with a brown rose, just a base coat skin tone, and then we'll move on to, I'm thinking I'm going to move on to blue. I think blue is probably the smart thing to do because there is a shit ton of gray. A lot of the yellow here is a lot of detail. So we have like his shoulder armor, we have the little skull here, the lightning bolt over there on his chest. We also have on his back, we have 2 lightning bolts. We have the bandana on his leg. We have the stripes on his foot armor. Now here's the thing, with this model, it also shows like straps and shit over it, so I might be able to squeeze it in there, but it's going to be very minimal because there is literally like some like bandages or whatever like wrapped over it. So we'll see what we can do there. Also, his wrist area has some yellow in it. It looks like this side. Did they flip it again? No, they didn't. Yeah, so we just have to basically refer back to this picture and we'll be good. Alright, so as I stated before, we are going to start with our skin tone. So what we're going to use is a brown rose. Brown rose is a perfect base because it gives it an undertone of red. So you want that kind of undertone because you want the person to look like they're actually alive. And giving someone an undertone of red kind of gives it that feeling that there is blood flowing through their body. So we're going to go ahead and do our coats there. What we're going to do here is we are going to hit the arms, of course, and then be mindful that the straps and stuff, there is separation there, so you want to hit the skin there. There is also, should be, some cuts in his jeans where you want to add skin tone there as well. Trying to depict where they are at, kind of harder when you're looking at a model, a smaller model anyway. So, and of course his face. We want to hit his face and his neck up because that is skin tone, of course. Don't have to worry too much about the back of the neck because it's kind of covered up by his little bandana. But of course, make sure you hit the side here. And yeah, So let's get the skin tone on there. Okay, so the next best thing I'm thinking is to do the pants. That way we can block out the stuff that's over top of it. So we have some like straps and bandanas and stuff, chains, all sorts of shit. So we're going to use a Russian blue light, and we're going to hit the pants up and see what we have going on with that. Remember, he does have some rips in his pants to try to paint some skin tone in there as well. And don't forget the fingertips. I don't think I mentioned the fingertips earlier, but the fingertips are also skin tone. So now let's do the blue, and then we'll probably move on to the grays. Now with the blue on there, we are going to start doing our grays. I did notice that his shirt has two separate grays. What we're going to do, and one of them is very dark, and I was going to use a basalt and tenebrow mix gray, but that is not what we're going to do. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use a basalt for the darker spots, and then we're going to use a warm gray for the lighter spots. And then we are going to use a tenebrow for certain pieces. So certain pieces of his boots will be like a basalt gray, and some of the boots will be a warm gray. And then some of the boots and some of like the hands and stuff like that will be a tenebrow gray. There's a lot of gray here, so you want to make sure you're not overdoing it with the same type of gray. You want to kind of mix and match it so that you can see the different parts and depict what's going on. There is also yellow details on his jacket and stuff. So like there's little lines going up here. So you want to kind of avoid that. You want to make sure that that's a bright yellow so people can see it and it pops. So let's start with our grays. We're going to start with the basalt gray and then move our way up. So by the time you see the end of the video, you'll kind of see what I mean, or this section of the video. Okay, so it's coming together. So we used tenebrow for the gloves. We did it for the outer part of the bandana. We did it for some of the rims of the armor, the rims of the jacket here. We also used tenebrow for the inside of the boot here. So you want to get underneath all these because we have basalt as a base right here, and then we also have some warm grays in there. Even his bandages are like a warm gray. They're not like a bandage look, so they're a warm gray. This one is going to be yellow, and that's what we're going to move on to now. So we're going to hit the yellow spots up. So the yellow spots consist of the skull on his chest, the thunderbolt on his chest. This is a white little bee right here. This is like a piece on his jacket, I think. I don't know exactly what that piece is, but I'll have to kind of examine it more. We're going to hit the shoulder pad here with yellow. Obviously, we're going to hit this bandana yellow. We are going to also do the two thunderbolts on his back, yellow. And we're going to do these trim yellow as well. I think that is all the yellow. We also are going to finish these stripes. There are stripes on some of his armor, so we're going to hit them stripes up as well. And we're going to do that with, we're going to start it off with an ochre yellow. Ochre yellow is a really nice yellow, so we're going to use ochre to put that as a base. And then I think we're going to do some metallics after that, just to kind of separate some things. Alright, so now with the yellow on there, we are going to just do some touches to anything that's metallic. So what we're going to do is we are going to just kind of like highlight some of the basalt gray areas like the chain, stuff like that. So we need to do the chain, some of the armor up here. We need to do like the knuckles here. That is like a metallic, the chain on his hand. Yeah, basically the metallic stuff. So you want to hit that up, but you don't want to overdo the gray that you already put on there. You just want to use that as a base. You want to leave some of that gray, basically. Then we can follow up with our glazes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use a Gravelord Gray, and we're going to hit the whole model up, avoiding the skin. You want to not hit the skin because you're going to build up the skin, and you don't want that to be dark. You just want that to be the way it is. So just avoid the skin. Use a Gravelord Gray or a gray wash, and it should be okay. A darker gray wash. Just make sure you're doing that. Also, we're going to use a light brown, and we're going to do his necklace, and that is going to be just a speed paint. I don't want to get in there with some of my darker browns or anything like that. I think it'll be okay because he does have the paws of his previous pet dogs, because he loves dogs and he's just very unlucky with them. So we want to make sure that we do paint that in there. Alright guys, so check this out. I built up the skin. I used a beige red, and then I used a beige red with a lighter tone. You can either use a pale sand, light flesh, something like that. You mix it with that, and then you just do like the bridge of the nose, the cheekbones, and the higher parts, like the top of the muscles where the light would hit. Then what I did was I went back with all the colors that I did use, because once we use the Gravelord Gray to glaze, we can now go back with the same colors, because at that point they are lighter than what is on the model. So we did go back on and we highlighted certain parts, so the top of the jeans and stuff and the folds, we did that with that blue. We also did the yellows, we did the top of the armor there, the bandana, we did the back here. You want to make sure you do hit these pinstripes up and stuff. And you also want to go back over with like a white for this skull, so that pops. And we used a basalt gray for the basalt gray areas. So just go back and re-highlight the spots that you did already paint. Now what we're going to do, this is about dry. We're going to dry brush the base with a light earth, and then we are going to paint the rim black. I'm going to add some flocking onto here and maybe a tuff or two. And then I'm going to write brick on there in the orange paint that I usually use to do the names. And then he'll be done. And here's brick. Ready, painted, and ready to hit the tabletop. I even did the eyes. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did the eyes as well. This is dope as hell. Like, I think this looks awesome. This brick is going to be amazing as an NPC in my Bunkers and Badasses, because I'm making all of these Vault Hunters into NPCs. I can't wait. I mean, look at how crispy his back is too, like that. That's pretty dope. Like, I'm really happy with that. Definitely a fun model, a quick model to actually paint as well. Very quick and easy. I am extremely happy with the way that brick turned out. He just looks like a damn beast. So if this video helped you out in any sort of way with painting your brick or your Borderlands models for either Bunkers and Badasses or Mr. Torgue's Arena of Badassery, then be sure to leave this video a huge like. Also, if you're new to the channel, or if you've been watching these videos and haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because it does help our channel out a lot. Also, I do want to note that yesterday, the skin tone on this looks really good. Yesterday we did Salvador, and his skin tone turned out a little bit brighter than expected. So what I did was I hit it with a sand golem, like a 50-50 sand golem and water speed paint. And what that did was that kind of darkened his skin just a little bit, but it still kept all those highlights underneath. And that's, I'll get it. I'll just go get it. Because I feel like it'll be better to just show you guys instead of me just like talking shit. So yesterday I made him extremely bright, but now that he has that stuff on his skin, or that wash on his skin, it now darkened it up just enough to make it look like Salvador. So if you actually go back and watch the Salvador video, I mean, it looked great. Like, the model looked great, but just the skin tone was just too bright for me, because he has like white skin, but he's like kind of like tan. He has a tan, so I did that with him. So these models, man, like, these are gonna be so fucking dope to put into my bunkers. I'm really excited. So as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. Remember to leave this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all in the next one.